Hey, sophomores. So today what you guys are going to be doing is filling out the 2.2 practice. So you have done your 2.2 notes, which is annotating the short story Harrison Bergeron. And now you are going to be filling out this quotation analysis chart. So what you're going to do is make sure that you have out your dystopian notes from 2.1 and your 2.2 notes, your annotated short story, because both are going to be necessary for this quotation analysis chart. All right, so the first column is going to be the passage from the short story. So we are practicing an MLA citation. So you've got a direct quote with the paragraph number in the parenthetical citation with the period on the outside. Some of these I provide for you. Some of them I'm going to ask that you find evidence to support that specific element. All right, the next column we have are elements of dystopian literature. So this is where your notes are going to come in handy, or your high quality annotations from the short story. Because if you use the notes on your annotations, this should be very easy. You're simply going to be listing things that were from your notes that are elements of dystopian lit. And it might be more than one, it might be two, it might be three. Then you're going to explain, what does this mean? So this is, what does it mean to the story? Kind of summarize this piece of evidence and how it's proving that it is a dystopian society. Okay, so this is more of like, you can write summary or like a paraphrase in your own words. Then we're going to get to the why does it matter. So this is like, how is this a warning from the author? What is the author's message or purpose? Why does it matter to the story? So we could be thinking along the lines of theme, about character development, around symbolism, but this is where our analysis is coming in, kind of that deeper meaning of why. This is just the what, like literally, what does it mean? Okay. All right. So I am going to give you an example of how to do the first row. All right. So the passage, I shortened it because it was really long. So if you look at the actual short story, you're going to see that I used multiple pieces of the text. I'm just using the parts that are super important. So that's why I have the little three dots. We call these ellipses. All right, it says everybody was finally equal. Nobody was better, looking stronger, or quicker. All this equality was due to the 211th, 212th, and the 213th Amendments to the Constitution. So this is in paragraph 1. And just so you know, this worksheet goes in order of the story. So if you're all of a sudden jumping back to the beginning, you're doing something wrong. All right, so when I'm looking at my notes and my annotations, what are my elements of dystopian lit? All right, so I've got the illusion of a utopia. I've got this idea of like perfection. I also know that because it is the Constitution that we've got this and all of these laws, it is bureaucracy, so bureaucratic. Because of lots of rules. I also know that it is speculative fiction. Remember, dystopian literature is all about kind of speculating what could happen to our society. So I know that this is a really good example of speculative fiction because we've got United States reference, but we've also got the amendments to the Constitution. So it's speculative fiction, futuristic, and we've got the amendments. Okay. So these are the pieces from my notes. I'm just writing in bullet form. I don't have to write in big, long, full sentences. So now I'm trying to explain, what does it mean? If we're going to use this, which we will use this to write a paragraph, I'm basically explaining, what does this quote mean for my reader who might not have been super up to date with this short story. All right. So we've got lots of rules. To keep the citizens equal. But what does it really mean? It really means loss of freedom. It means loss of individuality. It means control because it's also to keep them equal. Um, and it's supposed to make everybody happy so that nobody's better or lesser than somebody else. Okay. So as you're doing this, you can do one column at a time. I think it's better to go all the way across. Sit there, talk about it with your neighbors, kind of like how I'm doing a think aloud. Jot some of the things down that you're discussing. All right, so we've got lots of rules, right? So we have all those rules. We're trying to keep the citizens happy. It is, let me see, what else do I want to put? Oh, I want to say that this is future America because of how many amendments there are. Okay, the other thing I want to put is, oh, that people or the government are trying to control the thing that is most untrusted in dystopian, which is nature, right? Oh, someone can't be more beautiful than someone else. We have to go in and make that person wear a mask. Oh, this person's more intelligent than this other person. We have to put a radio box in their ear and put in loud noises so that it can't let them think. Okay, so the people or the government are trying to control nature. Just kind of summarizing what's going on here. Now, my deeper analytical thinking. So, I've got that it's a loss of freedom, that there's loss of individuality, that the government is trying to control. Because it's the America, it is no longer, uh, what do I want to say? A government of the people. It is government control. I've also got the idea that um, we can only achieve happiness is dependent on equality. Because if there's inequality, then somebody's going to be sad or upset or hurt. Um, I really feel like the author in this is trying to comment on America's quest for equality and letting everyone be equal, but if it's gone to an extreme. So it's America's pursuit of equality gone too far. And that's where we see this loss, the loss of freedom, the loss of individuality, that people can no longer be themselves. Okay. And that the people are in this society, they are willing to give it up, their control. So they have this idea that they are happy. Okay. So again, notes from this, from 2.1. What is it meaning? Just like literal summary in your own words. Why does it matter? This is where the conversation, talking about it, trying to extend it beyond. What is it? Yes, what does it mean to the story? What's the theme or the symbolism? But also, what is the author warning us about? So remember, dystopian is that speculative fiction. It's a warning about something in society or ideas that are present that might turn into ideologies that could corrupt or control people. All right, so the next one, you're going to do the same thing. Now, for down here, I have given you the element of dystopian literature. You need to go into the short story and find one or two pieces of evidence that could support that. And there probably are two or three pieces of evidence, but you just need to find one. So if your partner thinks the next one's on paragraph 7 and you think paragraph 8 is a better example, you're probably both right. It's just how well can you explain this and which piece of evidence might be a little bit stronger. But you may absolutely put more than one. Again, this does go in order of the story. So you should not be jumping to paragraph 54 all of a sudden. There are only 10 passages, and I tried to spread them throughout the story. But for example, where we have the dystopian protagonist, I have, yes, it's the dystopian protagonist, but I'm looking for different things. So this one is the idea of the dystopian protagonist, and this is the dystopian protagonist seeking freedom. So this is the action, this is going to be the description. Okay. And again, for each one, you're still doing the same thing. So where's a passage? And then in your own words, summarize what's going on, and then your deeper thinking, your analysis right here. All right. Good luck. You guys got this.